go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Bonjour, everybody. How's everybody doing? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tweak It Tuesday. Happy Veterans Day. I hope everybody's enjoying this day and getting out there and supporting one another. Welcome, welcome. Hello, my name is Trinity Stella, and I am your host for the Jezebel Trinity podcast. I hope everybody's doing well today. And so today I just wanted to come and jump on a little earlier because Tuesdays are my nights for I attend a women's group out of town. So I've kind of been either doing quick ones or doing it afterward late. So I wanted to get it done early so I can feel better about myself. Got goals. I got goals today. So welcome to Tweak It Tuesday. So before we dive in, I wanted to take a moment to acknowledge today, Veterans Day, a day to honor those who have served, those who have sacrificed and carried the weight of freedom on their backs. Their courage, their discipline, and their service remind us of something powerful, that freedom isn't free and neither is healing. Both require sacrifice and both require love and action. So to make sure, the best way to honor those who served is to make sure we are serving one another right here, right now. So I just kind of wanted to, and that brings me to the tweak it for Tuesday, the the tweak it topic. Each week we talk about small shifts, little tweaks that can create big change. And today's tweak is about how we respond to pain, both individually and a community. And too often we built systems that punish pain instead of healing it. I've been thinking about this the last couple nights because in a time of pain, in a time of grieving, in a time of loss, it seemed like we were being punished and questioned. And now that my family and I are kind of we are walking this path of healing, reflecting on it makes me look back, and systems that look at someone struggling, I wanted to kind of talk about it and say, notice that the systems, they look at people who are struggling, and it's like they ask, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting like this? And today's tweak is about how we respond to pain, both individually and as a community, like I said. And instead of asking what's wrong with you, why not asking what happened to you? What's going on with you? How can we support you? We see it everywhere. We see it in our schools. We see it in our courts. We see it in our communities. And when people are hurting, they're fines, threats, or punishment doesn't give pain. It multiplies it. It adds to it, and like a bank, it adds interest on top of each other. And this is kind of, I was just talking with my sons about this, and it's frustrating, and it really just sparks a little anger inside of me because of, like when a child misses school because they're grieving or they're going through something, their family's going through something, and when a parent struggles to hold it together while carrying this trauma, they don't see it as compassion. They don't need a citation. We don't need a citation. We need compassion, we need understanding, and we need support. So the tweak we need isn't complicated. It's a shift in how we see one another, and a move from control to care, from judgment to understanding, from punishment, from being punished to healing. And it's, it's because healing doesn't make us weak. it makes us wiser. You know, when we're going through it, it feels weak. We feel weak. We're feeling, you know, powerless. We're feeling all these feelings and emotions, but when we're going through it, we're gaining strength, we're gaining wisdom, we're learning these lessons, we're, you know, and wise communities just don't survive. They rise together. We rise together. So, just a couple notes, you know, like I just didn't see the point of, you know, my boys are older, my children are older now, and at the time it was like, how does $10 for missing every class period help them heal? How does that make them heal? And then when they're given this money to for their future, it's you know, the courts take a big chunk of it for something they did years ago. And how I don't understand how that's supposed to help us, how that's supposed to help their future. So that was just kind of like sitting with me. And so I kind of blew it up into a bigger picture of how these systems, you know, I've always said, you know, once we start healing, the systems don't know what to do with us, because once we start healing, they're not able to profit off our pain anymore, you know, and profiting off our pain is what keeps these systems alive. And when we start healing, they don't know what to do. It starts glitching. We start glitching the system. So it's just a thought on Veterans Day, you know, because like I said, freedom comes at a cost. Healing comes at a cost. It comes with sacrifice, and it comes with leading with love. And for others, for the ones that came before us, for each other as equals, and for the ones that will come after, that will follow in our footsteps. You know, what kind of path do we want to leave for those that will come after we leave this world? You know, so just something to think about, something to ponder on for today. And, you know, and how can we change our systems instead of profiting off our pain? How can we have the systems profit off our healing? You know, make this shift in perspectives. And that would just be something that us coming together and figuring this out as one, and working together, understanding each other with compassion, um, empathy, and unity, you know, and resources, ideas. But I appreciate all you guys, you know. So on this Veterans Day, I find myself asking, if we truly want to honor service and sacrifice, shouldn't we make sure our systems actually serve the people, especially those who are struggling or still healing? That's the tweak we need. One rooted in empathy, not enforcement. So the best way on is to serve our communities, our communities and humanity as a whole, with compassion, with justice, with healing. And freedom isn't maintained by punishment, it's sustained by understanding. And every time we choose healing over harm, every time we show up with grace instead of judgment, we keep freedom alive, not just for ourselves, but for those who will come, who will follow us, follow in our footsteps. And that's how we honor the brave. That's how we tweak the systems. That's how we tweak them. And that's how we glitch them. You know, we put a little glitch in there, and hopefully things change. So if this resonated with you today, please share it forward. And let's start building systems that heal instead of harm, because the ripple starts here. It starts with us. We got this, you know. All right, guys, let's see who we got, man. Peace, love, 100% respect out there. And we are the ones we've been waiting for. We are figuring this out. We are changing the system. We are changing our perspectives and how this shit works, and honoring those that have paid for services or sacrificed for us to be here today, to speak our voice, to share our voice, to share our experiences, because we are all going through something, and nobody knows why we make the decisions we do. All we know is that we are doing the best that we can right now in this moment. We are. All right, guys, Miigwech, I see you and I honor you. And Giga Wobble Min, that means see you later in Ojibwe, because we don't say goodbye. We say Giga Wobble Min. All right, guys. Hoa. All right, you guys have a happy Tuesday and happy Veterans Day out there. Happy 11/11 portal. All right, guys. It is the day to match your dreams. No time better than today. Let's do this. All right. Love you guys. Peace. All righty.